Hey guys, I'm back with another Batmobile, and this time we're going to be taking a look at the Batman and Batmobile set by Hot Wheels from Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Now, this set is actually from two different lines from Mattel. Obviously, you have the Hot Wheels Batmobile, but the little armored Batman on the left comes from their Mighty Minis line of blind bag figures. Looking at the package, you have the Batman v Superman logo on the right here. And then you have these promo images of both Batman and Superman, and we've seen those images on a number of collectibles. The Batman figure and the Batmobile, they're both clearly displayed in the window box. And on the back here, you have a digital image of the armored Batman and the Batmobile. Now, obviously, the figure is not in scale with the Batmobile, right? But I think the fact that they included it, it was a nice bonus. Then, aside from the information at the bottom, on the right there, it says, also available. And they show you the Superman version of this set, which is basically a Mighty Minis Superman figure and a Metropolis PD Hot Wheels. Underneath that, it shows you the different Mighty Minis figures that you can buy separately. You can see there are 3 different versions of Superman and 2 other versions of Batman. Now, I did manage to pick up 2 copies of this Batman Batmobile set, so let's open up this one and take a closer look. Now, I mainly picked up this cool little set for the Batmobile, but the minifigure that it comes with, like I said, is a great bonus. So let's take a look at the figure first. It has some really nice detail for being such a small sculpt. And all of the paint apps on mine, there's not a lot, but it's all very clean. I love the detail that they've included in the armor there. It looks great. And it has basic articulation. The head swivels. Both of the arms move front and back. And there's a rotation at the waist. The cape is actually removable. You can see there's a plug there at the top of the cape, and that just pushes into the top of the figure. And of course there's detail on his back too. I love the color of his gold utility belt against the light gray color of his armor. It really makes me think of the Dark Knight Returns armor. Now, the removable cape and the different points of articulation are primarily there because when you buy the blind bag version of these figures, they come disassembled. There are 5 pieces in the bag. There's the upper body, the lower body, the 2 arms, and the cape. And here's the bag that the individual figures come in. Again, there are 3 different versions of Superman and 2 versions of Batman. And they have the question mark figure in the center there because you don't really know which character you have until you open up the bag. And there are only 2 different sculpts. You have one of Superman and you have one of Batman, but they're each painted with a different color scheme. Now, personally, I actually prefer the Batman that you buy separately. I just like the darker color scheme a little bit better. It's the same exact sculpt, right? But this one has the really dark gray against the black of the cape, and it has the black trunks as well as the gold utility belt and all of the paint apps on the face. Now, it's all personal preference, right? They both look really cool. And again, the light gray one really reminds me of the armor in The Dark Knight Returns. I don't really know which one is more accurate to the movie. I just think that the darker one has more visual interest. In addition to the dark gray version, I lucked out and I was able to pick up the 3rd variation. Now, these aren't labeled in any way. I'm guessing this is supposed to be like the kryptonite-powered version of the armored Batman. It's Mattel, right? So, they got to come up with all sorts of crazy variations that we probably won't see in the movie. But they make them because they know that there's probably someone out there like me who will end up buying all of them. But come on, you got to admit, they all look pretty cool, right? So let's set each one of these aside and we'll take a closer look at the Batmobile. Now, it's my understanding that this Batmobile that comes in the set, it's basically the same Batmobile that you get in the single-carded version. I haven't been able to find that single-carded release yet. You can, of course, order it online, but I just haven't gotten around to it. That's why I was particularly happy to stumble across this set with the minifigure. I know that release of the single-carded Batmobile was also jet black, just like this one. And while the overall mold, the sculpt, is similar to the San Diego Comic-Con release, I did know that this one lacked a few details in comparison. It's a little bit lighter, so this one might have more success in something like a Hot Wheels race. So I might send one over to my buddy Jason over at Chapman Films and see if it has more luck than the Arkham Knight Batmobile that I sent him. I do like the fact that it's all black. I think it's a cool little variation of the Batmobile that we'll see in the movies. So I wanted to show you a side-by-side with the San Diego Comic-Con release because initially I thought that the exclusivity of that release was because of the box that it came in, but there are a few significant differences between these two cars. They're basically the same mold, but the Comic-Con release has a few added extras. First of all, it's not black, right? It's gray like the way we've seen the Batmobile in the trailers and some of the behind-the-scenes footage. I think because the model is a lighter color, you can also see more of the detail compared to the all-black version. If you look closely at the top of the models, the gray one has additional lines in the sculpt. You can see them on the front of the hood and around the cabin there. It also has a few paint apps. You can see there's some silver on the side of the body there, and it also has the orange lights on the front and the back. And if you look at the back, you can see the tires, they also have some tread on them. It's a nice little distinction. Those details make the exclusive version a bit more accurate to the Batmobile that we'll see in the movie. I did discover another Hot Wheels release of this Batmobile, and I was sort of kicking myself when I found it. The exclusive version from the San Diego Comic-Con is obviously more detailed than the single-carded black version, but it also came in this cool box. It has that great Batman v Superman logo, and the box itself has some special features, and you could even use it to display the Batmobile in your collection. I generally keep it in storage because I just don't have the display space for it. And despite how cool it is, this big old box holds this tiny little 1/64 scale Batmobile, which was really all I wanted anyways, the Batmobile. Now, if you wanted the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive version and you haven't been able to find it, or it's just out of your price range, I'd say try to find this one. This is that other recent release by Hot Wheels, and again, I was kicking myself when I found it because it's the same exact model. And had I known, I probably would have passed on the exclusive version with the big box and just picked up this one, maybe? I don't know. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy to have the exclusive version, and since I have the Comic-Con version and I've already taken it out of the box, I'm probably going to keep this one mint on card. But you can see it's the same exact car, right? It has the gray body with the added details like the silver and the orange paint apps. It even has the tread on the tires. It's the same Batmobile from the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive release. Now, it's a few dollars more than the all-black standard single-carded version, but given the fact that the San Diego Comic-Con release can sometimes go for up to $50 and higher, I'd say try to find this one. I think I paid just under $10 for it at Target. In closing, I think this is a really great collectible set from Mattel. Looking at the Mighty Mini figures, they have an excellent sculpt for their size. They're very detailed, right down to the battle damage on Batman's armor. Remember, you can buy the individual blind bag versions and have a few variations of both Batman and Superman. The all-black version of the Batmobile is also a nice variation to have. I think this is a neat little set for serious collectors and for casual fans of the movie, and I'm really hoping that Hot Wheels will come out with some large-scale versions of this Batmobile because I've become a really big fan of the design. So, we've been looking at the Mattel Hot Wheels Batman and Batmobile set from Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.